But first and foremost, you got to have a purpose, and then you got to stay consistent with how you promote yourself and build that personal brand up. And it's usually about either educating or entertaining your followers.
Right, and that echoes something that I read about from I think it was Google Creative Labs, Google Labs, talking about advertising is dead. All future marketing materials even want to educate and entertain, and that's the trend that we're seeing. If you want to sell more product, teach people how to use it. You can't sell them. You can't make overarching promises that can't be validated. The internet's great for vetting that stuff out. So that definitely strikes a chord with me. You said that you did a Udemy course and the 4 types of personal brand. Can you roll those off, or you just to be able to roll them off right now?
I really can't roll them off.
But okay, fine. I know you put you on the spot.
No problem. But it is the most popular course, or popular personal branding course on Udemy, so it should be pretty easy to find.
Great. So for those of you guys looking up, we'll provide a link later after the show. So I have a question here. You just talked about transforming culture. Where does one begin? Is it top down? Is it an internal group that needs to be done bottom up? How do you enroll the entire company into this? Because we are dealing with this right now. I would say more than half the company is enrolled into this idea, at least just because I've asked them to be more active in the social media space. But then there are others who feel like I have nothing to contribute. How do you focus and direct those energies towards achieving a common goal?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about culture change, typically it's got to be top down, but there's plenty of examples of groups of employees that get together and they form their own kind of power group that basically proves that social media can move the needle, and they go and present those results to top management, and sometimes top management will say, okay, we'll get more involved in social media because you're showing that it does work. So there's no one correct strategy. The ones that I have seen work have been top down. I haven't seen a lot of bottom up work without at least one executive sponsor. I'd say top down is probably the best way to do it.
So the CEO really has to know. So the CEO has to really drive it, or an executive really high up. So now we're in the segment of the show where we're going to talk about our final thoughts, and we'll go around and have each of us, including you, Mark, kind of some final thoughts on the topic. And since I'm the sickest, probably, all right, I'll start.
Start, dude. We can't stop you anyways.
And you're not going to be able to stop me.
So in your deathbed, I'll be over here and you'll do the final thoughts.
You alright? Yeah, that was funny. Learn what they want, learn what your audience wants, which is very important to figure out. Create content that gives them value. You're either teaching them something or entertaining. Really start distributing. If you're a designer, or even if you're a CEO, just sign up for all the different social media channels that are the key ones and start experimenting. A lot of people hesitate to begin. Just get started, damn it. And then learn from all those experiences and experiments like Mr. Chris Do here has done, and then repeat it with your lessons and adapt them to what you've been learning. You have to start in order to learn. So ultimately, waiting till you know what to do is a really bad strategy. So when it comes to social media, whether you're the CEO of a medium or large business, or you're a designer in an agency, you really need to get your shit together.
Wow. Should we have the next sick guy sum it up, and then I'll do the final thoughts?
Yeah.
All right. Sick man number 2, please.
So here's what it all boils down to. If you're a designer, you're already way ahead of everybody else. So the key is tell a great story, illustrate it the way it needs to be illustrated with beautiful designs, and then make sure that story ends with something related to your product. So think of engaging on social channels as people sitting in a